Good morning, user 62 Tabitha. Good morning, everybody. This is the morning edition. We'll be on here till, we'll be on here for a little bit. It's almost 10 o'clock. We should be on here for a little bit, folks. So my goal is to be on here from now until about near 11 a.m. Scott Hammond, good to see you. Good morning, Tabitha. User 620, greetings, Mr. B. Everybody coming in here, good morning. I took a break last night from being on, because I've been on almost every night, late night. So I'm on this morning. Good to have everybody with us. George Man 11, good to have you with us. Everybody coming in here. Michelle, Fast, welcome to our show, Mr. B. Thank you for the likes. Everybody like and share right away. Let's amp it up. Let's not wait. We don't have to wait for anything. Let's make it happen. 19 likes. Let's get it up to, I'd like to get up to between now and 11 a.m. I think we can do about 50,000 likes. If you're not following us, follow us at CmdrAleon 2022, and we'll follow you back. I'll try to follow people as I see them in here. Yes, definitely share and love everybody. Good, we're amping it up already. That's what I'd like to see. I know we can get up to over 1,000 in probably a couple minutes, so no big deal. And make sure, Catherine, welcome to our show. This is the morning edition during the day. I'm drinking some tea. And definitely we're going to get into all kinds of stuff that's happening. We also guest interviews. If you're new to our show, you have over 1,000 followers. You may come on the talk show here on Encounters. I'm also the host of WESU-FM's Cosmic Eye Radio for 20 years. NPR Pacific Radio called Ashtar Command Radio. I work in the Christ consciousness always in everything I do. I work in the cosmic Christ consciousness in everything I do. I'm not talking about earth-based, I'm talking about cosmic. And talk show host, I've been involved. I had a TV thing I did years ago called the Intergalactic TV Network on cable. That was an interesting thing. That lasted for about a year. That project, and I'm involved with our Ashtar Command Project contact group, a C5 group here in New England. I'm a co-coordinator for that. And what else could I tell you? I'm a contactee since the 1960s. I had my first contact with human-type space people, men, women, and children, in the 1960s, probably mid-60s, I would say. So I have a lot of different layers to my cosmic understandings of life, the universe, and everything else that goes with it. And my mission also is I did galactic work communication-wise off-planet with our intergalactic brothers and sisters. Unlike on Earth, we didn't use radios or cell phones. Everything's different. But I took that experience here. I still had an urge for communication, so I'm using Earth-based technology like cell phones, radio, broadcasting, and so forth. J Bear, thank you, everybody. I'm not swayed by anybody's agenda. My mission here is to be completely clear in my consciousness. I don't read other people's perceptions of reality on websites, on the internet, because they're written by people and their own consciousness. So I follow my own direct consciousness from coming here, and it's been the best thing ever. So when I do the mission work, I have a clear consciousness. I don't have an agenda towards a religion, towards a politics, towards an economic thing. All that stuff is meaningless and worthless to me. So I'm more interested in my mission work to elevate everybody, to be positive, and that's the way our space brothers and sisters are in the home worlds. Everything's love, light, positivity, no agendas, and that's why we're here. Can you talk about the machine elves? I don't know anything about the machine elves. Can you tell me what they are? I've never heard of them before. Hey Ray, good to have you with us. Good morning. Tarot reading, thank you. Marinette, thanks for being here. Marinette's one of our moderators. And J Bear, thanks everybody. Mr. B, thank you again for the likes. Entities contacted through AI. So I don't believe, I don't agree with AI. I mean, I know there's a lot of AI in everything we do. Alexa app is AI. But I can say on that Alexa app, I want to have some meditation music. That's fine. But in terms of contacting ETs through AI, I think people ought to get away from the technology. If you want to contact your space brothers and sisters, learn how to meditate, focus on Christ consciousness, and in your meditation say, I wish to contact in Christ consciousness those star beings that I am connected with wherever they are. So if anyone's using AI and getting excited about contacting ETs through AI, don't do it. You were created here with your full abilities that are latent inside of you. All you've got to do is learn how to activate them. And if you do that, you're fine. Don't depend on any technology or radios to communicate with space people. You know. Great question, Tabitha. Thank you for asking it. Yes, we can do this organically. Absolutely. Everybody can. Did you see the question mark? Let's see. Did you see the question mark galaxy? Let me see here. What's the... Hey, JJC, good morning. Did I miss a question here? Douglas, good morning. What question was this thing? Lacey, can you tell me what the question was? I'm not sure. David, good morning. Welcome to the show. All the new people coming in here. How about the large sunspot that would be Earth facing next week? Yeah, the sunspot that is facing Earth, I have not been aware of that, but I haven't been tracking it for the last 2 or 3 weeks of sun cycle. If we're going to get a big sun hit, meaning an electromagnetic storm, you can utilize the power of the sun and the electromagnetic storm and take all that energy into your body to activate your cellular structure. So if you meditate during that storm, you can utilize that energy to elevate and activate. Shell Love Art Entertainment, I was taken. Interesting. V says, I was on a mothership last night. How about, let me take a look here. V, we're going to follow you. And also, Shell, we're going to invite you to come on live and share your story. I was taken, Shell says, I was taken. With us. Good morning, Shell. Welcome to Encounters.
Oh, thank you. How are you?
We're doing well. And would you like to turn your camera on, or are you a little bit shy?
I'm a little shy.
Okay,
It's
no
too early in the
problem.
morning. My hair looks like I just woke up and I
Forget it.
didn't.
We'll just leave it the way it is. And now, when I saw you say it was taken, it struck my imagination. Can you tell us where on the planet you are?
I'm in
What you
Texas. I'm in Texas.
Texas.
Yes.
And when you say you were taken, can you explain the beginning of what you're talking about, how it happened, what occurred?
I was asleep and I remember being taken out my window and returned at 4:44 a.m. I had a scar, like a little hole in my back on my shoulder that has
Hmm.
bothered me ever since. I'm not sure what it was, but I remember being on a steel table, like a shiny silver table with probes and being probed about by people, creatures or something I didn't recognize or didn't understand what they were. But I do remember being on a cold table, being examined by little people. And then I was brought
Hmm.
back to my room through my window, my bedroom window, and placed back in my bed at like 4:44 a.m. It was odd, but I remember things as if,
Good
I
morning.
was in a particular room. I'm sorry.
Now, do you remember what they looked like? Because when I hear the stories when people are like taken, it wasn't something like you agreed to. You were just taken, correct?
Right. I felt myself leaving out the window. As a matter of fact, when I was a child, and as funny as it may sound, I used to fly in my dreams. And I was speaking to a spiritualist recently about it, and he asked me, he said that I had all 9 ethers. He asked me that, did I ever fly before? And I always thought it was parts of my dreams. I never thought it was a reality. I just felt that, I was a kid and I used to fly on top of the trees in my grandparents' house and everything. And then go back into my room before the next morning. Um,
So
I
you
remember all
remember,
that.
you
Hmm.
remember like when you were, how old were you when this happened?
When I was taken, I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I was in Dallas, Texas. Yeah, it
You were,
was like
did you say you were 6? Your
23.
audio's a little bit muffled. Can you try to,
I said when I was taken, I was in my 20s. When I
20s?
was
Okay.
flying about, yeah, I was a
Yeah.
child when I used to fly about.
It's interesting you say you were able to fly. Thank you, Daily Vibe. Thank you so much. I remember when I was a kid, I would have dreams that I would be flying in the clear sky, and I never talked about this, and you just prompted me to remember this. I used to
Yeah.
fly in the sky, and I had no problem, you know, taking my body and just floating and flying wherever I wanted to go. Isn't that kind of interesting?
Yeah, it was very interesting and it was very vivid in color, as a matter of fact, above the trees in the sky. And then I would just fly about and come back before the next morning.
Mm,
Yeah.
wow. I bet you some of our
Mhm.
other people on the show have had that experience too.
I thought it was parts of my dreams until a spiritualist read my cards and asked me a bunch of questions about that type of stuff. And he was right. And it was surprising that he asked me that because I always felt it was dreams.
Now, do you still have that mark from being taken on you?
Yes, it's on my back. It's a little like a puncture hole. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
do you recall what the beings kind of looked like? Any kind of description for our audience, what they might have looked like?
I can't tell you what they look like. I just remember the experience. I remember being on a table without any clothes on, being examined. And I can't tell you what they look like. I just know it was people around me or beings around me as I laid on that cold table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did they communicate with you at all when you were taken?
Not that I'm aware of. I just remember being probed about.
Wow. Okay.
Hmm.
And when you're being probed, did it hurt? Like when some people talk about being abducted, they'll say, it wasn't a beautiful or, positive experience. How did it feel to you?
It wasn't scary at all. It was
Hmm.
just, it was odd. It felt like I was out of body. It didn't feel like I
Yeah.
was actually there. But when I
Hmm.
came back, the mark on my back, I feel it. And occasionally it caused problems like itching and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
I always wonder what it is that they implanted because I do believe something was put inside me. I'm not
Hmm.
sure what or how.
Do you feel that you're more enlightened after that? Did you feel like, like where your consciousness shifted or anything shifted?
I think my intuition was increased at that point because I'm very
Hmm.
intuitive. Um,
Really?
Yeah, I'm very intuitive. I can tell when people are thinking, when they're feeling bad, and that type of thing. I feel emotions like really, really, really badly. I can walk into a room and feel the energy, but
Mm.
sometimes it bothers me.
Were you were you less intuitive before the abduction?
I was a kid, so I think I was, but I remember, as a child, I used to feel that way too, and was really know what my parents were thinking before they would even say anything. But as I got older, those gifts began to decrease,
Hmm.
and recently I started to be more intuitive than I was, in my 30s or so. Now I'm 64, so I'm
Wow,
really
you don't even
intuitive. Yeah.
sound it. You sound like you're a lot younger than that. You would have had me fooled and everybody. You sound like you're in your 20s.
Thank you.
Uh,
Yeah.
so very interesting. Well, this is great. You were my first guest, and obviously, as you mature and having that experience, would you say? And my last question would be: do you feel it was a positive experience? Do you think you were abducted, or you were chosen to be taken, or how do you feel about that?
I just felt like I was chosen to be taken. And
Hmm.
I believe it
Okay.
was because of the gifts that I had as a kid. My gifts were more intense then, although they're coming
Hmm.
back now. They were more
Yeah,
intense when I was a child. Yeah.
of course. Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm getting, if you ever wanted to reconnect with those beings, if you felt it was positive and they weren't negative, you can do
Mhm.
that through meditation if you wish to.
And see, I've started to meditate, and I believe that's why my gifts are coming back in too, because I've started to sit and silence myself and meditate. Yeah.
Well, I
So,
would suggest when you leave, the show, when you have a chance at your own time, meditate and ask for Christed protection, cosmic Christed protection. That you want to find out. You ask, who are you, the beings that took me when I was in my 20s? Can you connect with me? Can you communicate with me? It's called telepathy. If you do that, I think you'll make reconnection with them. And I'd like to hear in the future, as you focus and discipline yourself to make that contact. Ask them who they are, who they were, and where they came from. The three major questions you want to do.
cool, I will do that. All right.
Okay? That'll
All
be
right.
your cosmic homework.
Thank you.
All
All
right.
right.
I love the name, Shell Love Art Entertainment. Thank you so much for being here.
You're
And she
welcome.
was my first guest. I think Bad Boy Pizza. Before we bring Bad Boy Pizza on, I got to find out whether that's a troll or somebody that really has something they want to share. Thank you. I appreciate your being on here, and we'll let you go. And this is Encounters, the UFO talk show here this morning. TikTok, Maydell, good to have you with us. So I'm real. Okay, I'm real. Okay, so Bad Boy, can you tell me what you want to talk about, and then I'll bring you on here. I just got to make sure, because we've had problems in the past with people on the talk show. I just want to make sure that everything is good. And what's your topic in terms of UFOs? Thanks for posting on YouTube. A lot of times, good Gail. Encounter. Encounter. Okay, so we're gonna bring Bad Boy Pizza, and we're gonna bring Bad Boy Pizza on to talk about that. So welcome, Bad Boy. Our second guest this morning. We're usually on late night, and we're doing morning show. Do you want to come on live with the camera, or do you feel more comfortable that way?
Nah, I can. How do I do that? Let me see. How do I go live?
And we're gonna have Bad Boy Pizza talking about extraterrestrial encounter as our last guest. It seems like that's the theme. Our last guest had been taken, and she felt everything was positive. So I want to hear what Bad Boy Pizza. The camera is, if you look at your screen, there is a thing where it says guest request. If you press where you see the little icon people, you press that, and you'll see a camera and a microphone. The camera just press it. There you go. Bad Boy Pizza. How you doing? Good morning.
Good. All right. So
and
ready?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So it was me and my little brother. I was 12 years old, and I'm 61 now.
Can you bring your audio up a little bit more? The audio?
Yeah. I think it's these headsets aren't very good.
Yeah.
Is that good? I speak louder.
That's a much better. Yeah, we can hear you much better now.
Okay, so it was me and my younger brother. I was 12 years old. He was probably like 7. And we were in the cornfield on like our neighbor's property out in the woods, out in the farm, you know. And I told my brother, I said, look how bright that moon is. And we saw this like small dot. We thought it was a jet go past the moon. I was like, oh. Then it came out the other side. Within 3 seconds, that dot was over top of us.
Wow.
Hovering. Yeah, and no lights, a lot of wind, and I mean, I was freaked out. I mean, I knew what it was.
Yeah.
You know? So I had a 22 Brownie with like 18 bullets in it, and I emptied all my rounds on that thing. Next day, nothing. No one. I didn't shoot at no helicopter or nothing in the paper.
Yeah.
You know, and it was like probably 25 feet above us.
Wow.
Hovering. Yeah, it was. I mean, I kind of forget it, like how it was back then when I was 12, being so long ago. But we jumped. I had my dirt bike. Jumped on the dirt bike, went home.
Yeah.
And told my dad. He's like, yeah.
Right.
You know, he was like, you sure it was what you said it was? Maybe it was just a helicopter, you know. So me and my brother, all through the years, we just never told nobody, you know.
Now, I know it's human nature for people. I've been in this field for a long time. I've been a contactee directly with positive encounters. So I love these stories because, just a human emotion is like, you don't know what it is. You have your rounds of gunfire. You're thinking, what's this thing doing? It's so low. Is it going to take me? What am I going to, what's going to happen?
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, I just wanted I wanted it to leave. I never did leave, but left. We jumped on the bike and we took off down over the path onto the dirt road and went to the farmhouse.
Right. So, and then it would be, who knows how I would react to that? I just don't know. But I do know that after you had that reaction, did you ever think after you calmed down that maybe, what happens if they were like these beings from another planet that were positive and you were meant to have contact with them? Did you miss the opportunity by, shooting rounds at them?
I think that because, I mean, I wish I could have saw more. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like a real person or a real, whatever being it would be
Yeah.
inside there.
Yeah. The other thing, when I hear these stories, I also, because I've been a contactee and because I do classes and take people on journeys off planet in my workshops that they remember, have you ever thought about, do you do any meditation at all? Any meditation?
I'm more or less a Christian, so I guess that would be called meditation.
Yeah. You can meditate whether you're Christian or not.
Person.
You know how to meditate. Okay. So my thing is I'm getting for you is remember that, picture that experience of that ship, that craft. And if you meditate and focus on that picture, you can be, everyone has the ability. I teach people you can be telepathic because that's in our ability. We don't use it. If you meditate and focus on Christ consciousness, and I talk about cosmic Christ consciousness, if you focus on that in your meditation, say, I wish to connect with you, the ship that was right above us when we were kids or whatever. I'm sorry that we were shooting gun rounds at your ship. I was just, I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. I freaked out. But I want to know who you are. And if you meditate, you can communicate back. I'd love to see. Focus on meditation. Focus on the experience. I bet you'll have a reconnection with them, and most likely in a positive way.
Well, talking about meditation, I mean, I don't know if it's good or bad, but I've had experience with like spirits, in the house and stuff.
Oh, in the house. So let me ask you, is that later on in life? Did you have experiences with ETs in the house?
Well, I was born in a personal care home, so there's a lot of people that died in my house when I was younger. So, like when my mother passed away, and me and my brother was up in the attic, and he went down the attic first, and he looked in the bedroom, and he could see a body laying on the bed. And he
really? Right, so that wouldn't be an ET experience. That's more of a spirit or something that's physically there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Well, then you have the ability to connect with these space people, because if you have the ability to see that, you have the ability for meditation to focus on these space people, and just picture the picture of that time without the freaking out experience of what the ship looked like. And you say, I wish to know more about you, who you are, before you make contact. Are you Christed beings of light? I always tell people, when you want to connect with the space people, you want to connect with Christed beings of light, because they're from other worlds that are much more advanced, spiritual, loving people. You don't want to say, I just want to connect with somebody out there. We do see live events in Connecticut for contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, so we want people to learn how to do that properly.
Well, do you feel, just a question for you, since you probably know more than I do you feel that these are spiritual beings instead of, like they say, aliens?
Well, I would say that 95% of them are spiritual beings. They're very much, when I use the word Christ, I don't use it in religious terms. I've studied most religions on this planet, the ones I've been involved with. Lutheran, I was born Jewish. I dropped out of Hebrew school. I went to, I've been born again Christianity. I went through that. I worked with space people that are positive, and I learned about how they operate. So I'm very aware of different religions. I try to teach people Christ consciousness has nothing to do with whether you're Jewish or Catholic or whatever. It has to do with a universal understanding. And once people understand that, you don't have to go to any place. With the space people, I can tell the difference between the positive ET and a negative ET just by the energy. So when you see a spaceship coming, or what you call a UAP or UFO, if you don't have any radiation coming from that ship, and you feel much love coming from that ship and that kind of vibe, then those are positive beings. If a ship comes near you, you start, feeling like you're getting burned from radiation, those are lower vibrational beings, and you want to get away from that. So let me ask you a question. When you had your sighting, I know you're freaking out, but did you feel like any energy from the ship or the craft or anything? Or is it hard to remember that part?
I'm gonna have to say that I did feel like a energy, like a overwhelming, an overwhelming sense of wow, like, this is incredible, this is like that,
I think that overwhelming tells me that it was a positive group of beings. If you said, I felt like really like I was sick, I was really sick, that's different. But the wow tells me that it was different. It was totally positive.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
learn to
definitely.
meditate and focus on contacting them again through your meditation.
All right. Yeah, I will. Yeah. I can definitely do that.
Yeah, just learn to do that, and you'll have no problem. I'm gonna love, just like my last person on the show. Give it a few
Yeah.
weeks and keep a journal, make notes of it, and that's your
Yeah.
homework. And then when you come back, tell me what happened.
All
A matter
right.
of
Well,
fact,
what's your
I'm
name?
being told. My name is CmdrAleon. I'm the host of the show here, and we're on usually late
Okay.
night, but I'm on this morning. I sometimes come on in the morning or daytime. And what I want you to
Yeah.
do, they're telling me, is make notes, keep a journal next to your bed or something, and also
Yeah.
tell them that you want them to come back and show their craft. So pick an area where you can go and meditate with people that you feel comfortable with, that are open and not going to freak out, and they'll come back. They'll reappear now in your adult life, and they will come back.
Maybe they'll let me film. Use
They
my
might
camera
they
and
might
my
just
video.
take you on a trip. I'm getting that
Oh
too.
my.
So
Oh my.
so
I don't know.
no
I don't know
guns,
if I'm up
no
for that.
ammo, no shooting guns at them. Okay,
I don't know if
no
I'm up
shooting
for that.
guns.
All right.
You
No,
know.
no, no guns. No guns.
Listen, you've been a pleasure to be on here, man. I'm going to follow you, and I think I am following you. Usually I'm on late night, so if you see me on after 11 p.m., that's when I usually have my show. But I'm on also in the mornings. I'm trying to get on the morning for the morning people. So we're glad you're here.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. And you have the Bad
Uh,
Boy Pizza. Are you a pizza person? Do you make pizza?
oh
What's
yeah,
going
I
on with you?
make it. Yeah. Yeah. It's on it's the last one, or the first one I made. It's got like 800 views. But yeah, I make
Yeah.
a really thick Italian pizza. I love
Oh, there you
Italian
go.
food.
There you go. Well, good for
Yeah.
you, my friend. Well, thank you, brother, for being here. It's been a pleasure.
Thank
You've
you.
been a great guest, and I'm going to look forward
Uh,
to the future of having you on and give us updates what goes on with the EPs.
can't wait for it. Thank you so much.
All right, and that was
All
Bad
right.
Boy Pizza, and we're going to take some more guests on here. I'm on here till 11. Let me just went too far down. I'm going to bring myself back up here. If you'd like to share your story, folks, and you want to be a guest on the show, and you have 1,000 followers. Even if you don't have 1,000 followers, I'll read your comments and your stories. We want to get everybody up there. And I am just amped up this morning. Oops. Let me bring this up here a little bit. And we'd love to have some more guests. Let's see. Everyone's sending loves. Thank you. Please share and like. Please subscribe. We have 37 to 100 subscribers now of 100. Your gifts, Galactic Mastery. Thanks for the gifts, brother. Everybody, please share and like. You can also Venmo me. I'd like everyone to go Venmo. If you got the Venmo app, it's secure. I use it all the time. So go on CmdrAleon 2022. Any people that want to Venmo, you can Venmo $5, $10, or $15 to the general work we're doing. So we appreciate Galactic Mastery. He just recently subscribed. You can be a subscriber number 38, number 39, 40, whatever. So there are multiple things that'll help us. And I know we've raised through subscriptions near $400, which is going towards our night vision equipment. So we're going to get there. We are going to get there. So we appreciate all the people. And thank you, Chesno. Chesno is one of our Ashtar C5 contact people here in Connecticut. So we appreciate that. So I don't mention the Venmo enough, so please directly go to Venmo on my app, CmdrAleon 2022, Venmo. You can Venmo me by the link, whatever you feel like Venmoing. It's up to you. You're tuned into the morning edition of Encounters. This is something we're going to try to do more often. Encounters is a UFO show. I'm the host of WESU's Cosmic Eye Radio for the last 20 years. NPR Pacific Radio is called Ashtar Command Radio. I came out of the closet when I was a kid, early, with my friends. And if you don't know this full story, they weren't too happy when I told them I was from Mars. So I'm directly from Mars originally. And I'm here with the Ashtar Galactic Command before there was internet. I was fully awakened at some point in my teen life. I had many sightings. I've had two major large sightings back in the 80s. One was a really large ship, about 2 football fields in length for new people coming in, that I watched for 35 minutes. So I'm giving you a brief background of my bio. Dog lover in my life. I'm trying to bank brat, can't find my money still. Nigel says higher self. Are you in Texas? When are okay? Let's see here. Whoops. What do you think of black-eyed being sightings? What do I think of black-eyed being sightings? You mean you're talking about people with black eyes? I'm trying to understand the question. Beyond the black eyes, what did they look like in terms of the physical appearance? What did they look like? Purple, orange people? What did they evil? Yeah, I would say they are evil. I've been told, you would stay away from them. I think I know exactly what you're talking. I saw a documentary about that. Yeah, you don't want black-eyed children. Stay away from them. You know. Yeah, don't go near them. That's the energies you don't want. Those would be negative energies. And I would say just focus on, are they humanoid? Are they humanoids? Yeah, I would stay away from them. They're not positive. Nigel, I would try to meditate in Christ consciousness now. I don't know if you do any meditation. Get yourself refocused on your energy. I don't know where this happened to you, but Din Talk was at a Taco Bell when I was 9. Yeah, stay away from them. They're not. They exist, but they're not positive. Emerald, I wonder how many negative beings like that are through thought form in origin. They could be, but I've heard of it, the black-eyed ones. I saw a documentary about it, and you definitely don't want. You can prevent that encounter. Just surround yourself in Christed light. Meditate and ask for Christed beings of light to protect you always, and you'll never have that experience again. He stood by a door, didn't buy nothing, and left. Yeah. Game for 2. So doing an interview with black-eyed kid is out of the question. Yeah, because they're not of the galactic forces of light. I don't know where they're from, but I would stay away from them. Blonde hair. Yeah, they can have different color hair, but it's those black eyes. They're not, I would just stay away from that energy. So I want to get refocused on encounters, the disclosure, UFO sightings, and ET visitations, just for people coming in here. That's really the focus. But I will entertain questions and try to answer what I can here. Let's see here. Labradorite is anyone? That's true. So I want to stay away from higher frequency. So I want to stay from all this stuff. Anything that's off of this thing, I'm going to mute people if we start getting into stuff that is unrelated. Oh, okay. Let's see. I've heard the Greys and Palladians still experience with making hybrids. So where have you heard that, Dog Lover, about the Palladians and the Greys making hybrids? What website or where did you get that information from? I have not. Well, I know that the Greys have been, the Zeta have been involved in that, which is the same thing as the Greys. So we're talking about the Zeta. Black tourmaline is really good. Also produces a lot of negative ions, good for your health. Hello, CmdrAleon, not on long at work. Bonnie, good to see you. Has anyone seen robot drones like they look like animals? Nope. I've never seen those before in my life. Game Vet, I had a brunette girl wake me up in bed during the day and rapid fire me questions telepathically. Interesting, Game Vet. Wait a minute. Game Vet, you had a brunette girl wake me up in bed during the day, and so this brunette person, Game Vet, was that an extraterrestrial that appeared, or can you explain that? Good morning, Vicky. No, I haven't. Let's see. Thank you for the follow. Ryan Grant, welcome to the show. Just to let people know, you're watching a show called Encounters. I'm the host of the show, CmdrAleon. I'm from Mars originally. I work with the Ashtar Galactic Command. This is a show about people's contact with ETs, your UFO sightings that are happening all over the world, and also disclosure issues regarding the truth regarding extraterrestrial intelligence and what the world governments know about the ETs. I am Heather. Good to see you this morning. Love and light. Little Lyman likes the impact on cosmos. Let's see here. I'm reading comments. Can you discuss the impacts of using donor eggs for IVF treatment and DNA implications? Serious. I don't really know a lot about that, and I can only answer questions I know about. I'd have to really kind of study that. I'm not sure what that would do. I really don't know the answer, little Lyman. I've seen spirits of evil beings when visiting a neighbor's church, distorted faces and fangs. Yeah, people need to stay away from that stuff. Let me bring what happened to me here. I ended up going downward. Hold on. Whoops. We are going to get back up there eventually. So give me 1 second, folks. I need to readjust. All right. Don't know what happened, but we're back. X-Blade, good to see you. Let's see, I'm reading all the comments here. August 16th was at home in my balcony and seeing a triangular-shaped ship with 3 lights on each side. Pink Justice. Pink Justice, that's interesting. I saw on my way into work this AM a man on Ocean Avenue. Mara N1 G5150. Hello from Tucson. I've been taken as a teen many times and I've seen them always. We're going to bring you on, I think it's Myra N1. I'm having another person hopefully come on from Arizona, Tucson. I know a lot of stuff to share since you were a kid. And we're the third guest. Let me bring this up a little bit. And welcome to the show. Are you with us?
Hi, hello, thank you. Here.
Good morning. Can you bring yourself on live beyond the audio? Are you able to go on live with your camera?
Hi, right now I'm kind of busy. Let me see if I could.
All right. Well, we'll keep
Is it
that
hard to
way.
hear?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm busy. I'm busy with my animals and inside and outside.
Oh, okay. No, so we'll take the audio part. So I found your comment interesting. How old were you? I've been taken as a teen. So what year were
Yeah,
you in your teens when you were taken? And can you go into your history as to what that is?
yeah. It's as far as I remember. I mean, I remember some, not all. I do remember experiencing like when I was growing up. I remember floating around, seeing downtown as I was leaving downtown Tucson, as I was going up, the lights getting smaller and all that. But I think I'm going to say it started in my preteens to my teenage years. So like,
Wow.
yeah, 13, 14 years old.
What did the craft look like? Let's start with that part of it. And
Okay.
yeah, let's go with that.
That's the part I don't remember. I don't remember what the crafts look like. I don't remember what they look like. No pain. I do have on my back, I have an indentation, like something's missing on my lower back, but there's no scar.
Really?
Yeah. And then out of my 5 children, it's always fascinated me and tripped me out because the older I got, the more I started putting stuff together and like and I would hear stories. I don't know if you've ever heard they say people, they say they started with their DNA with us and
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, so I don't know how to
Oh, I've
explain it,
heard
but trying
stories.
to, yeah. So out of my 5 kids, 3 of them are left-handed, and then one of my daughters was born with a partial cleft, and then a partial premature closure of the cranial sutures, which is they're studying her blood like in India and all these places in the Middle East because they've never seen this happen to somebody. So
Really?
yeah, like she's had these 2 separate cases that are rare just to be together, but rare to be half of it alone. So they had to do some surgeries on her to correct her skull when she was a baby. Before she
Oh, wow.
turned 6 months old, her skull started closing. You know where we're supposed to have a soft spot?
Yeah.
So that started closing up too soon. So they had to crack her skull bones. And before she was 6 months
Hmm.
old, she had surgery from ear to ear, and they cracked her skull bones. And yeah, it's a trip. It's just, like I said, the more I start putting the story together, because if I would have tried to put it together as a teenager, it wouldn't have made no sense. But now as I go back with my children and just everything, I don't know if I sound crazy or if it's just me or if I'm
No, you're
putting
not
things
crazy.
together. Yeah, but
You're not
I don't
crazy.
know if they managed to get their DNA. They did something where they all, I don't know. That's what I feel.
So these beings, I get the feeling that it wasn't a very positive experience, correct? Or am I wrong?
Well, it wasn't negative because I don't remember
It
nothing
wasn't
bad.
negative.
No, no.
Okay.
To me, it was positive because I loved the fact that I could just get out just leave. I could see when I was leaving my home, when like if I, it was like if I wasn't dreaming, but I was awake. You know how you have sometimes those
Right.
the nightmares, the screen, the where you're asleep but you can't wake yourself up, or
Mm.
the night terrors. I also get
Yeah.
those. I get those till this day,
But the night
but yeah,
terrors, that
is
would, again, this is just my
that
observation. If you have night
yeah,
terrors, that doesn't
that's a
sound
whole
very positive. The night
yeah,
terrors, I mean.
that's the night terrors is a whole separate issue. Night terrors is with
Separate
it has
issue.
to do,
Okay.
yes, separate issues with, I guess, with
Now,
I don't know, spirits or whatever and other stuff that
did your
doesn't have nothing to
kids,
do with them.
okay, did your kids, when this happened, when you had the indent from whatever they did when they took you on their ship,
Hmm.
do you think they were trying to get some of the DNA from you in what they were
Well,
doing? And did you, well, you didn't have, did you have kids when you were taken by these beings before
well,
did you not have kids
had my
yet, or
first son. I had my first son when I was 16 years old.
when you were 16?
Yep, when I was 16, and yeah, he's my first
So was the
left-handed one.
contact, were you taken before you were 16 years old?
Yes, before,
Before. So
and
that
I've
was
been
your
with the
first kid
father.
at
Yeah,
16. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But
Now,
my
what did
children
that
are,
kid,
yeah.
your
Go ahead,
first
go ahead.
kid, what happened to the first kid? Anything that you can explain related to after this happened with you with the ETs?
No, just he when he was born, man, he just had this look in his eyes, like if he knew. He just like such a wise look. He didn't cry. They had to break his collarbone to get him out of me because he was too big, but he never cried. He like, and then he had this look.
Really?
Yeah, he just this deep look into my eyes where he knew like everything. I don't know how to explain it, but he's my one
No,
of the
you're explaining
left-handed
it.
ones
Hmm.
like that.
So
Yeah, he's
do
real.
you think your kids are your kids more awake in terms of cosmic reality? Do you think, do they know things that they didn't know, that maybe if this had not happened, would they have been different?
See, something like that. My older son always been real wise, but it seemed like I don't know if like like if he's forgetting, or if he's I don't know. Like I said, I don't know how to explain it. Like the wisdom he
Yeah.
had,
Yeah.
and then and he's still real smart, real wise, and then I don't know. It's just
Do your
it's so
kids
hard to explain.
do your kids have your kids had encounters with ETs at all as well? Or no?
No, they've just seen when I see what we see out there. We're usually together as a family sometimes, but we've always seen these crafts or these things. They come together, they come over us, and then they'll form a triangle, and then they'll leave, and then they've always been around. I
So
can
the
come out here
ship,
in my backyard and see them
right.
almost every night.
So are they would you say those are the same type of craft that
No,
you've had when you
uh,
were a teenager?
different. They were different crafts I've seen
Different.
from when. Yeah, I don't remember the crafts when I was a teenager, but every craft I've seen as growing up, they were all different shapes, sizes, and colors when I seen them.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm listening very carefully to your story. I'm getting, this is something you can do or not do.
Hmm.
I'm getting you to do some meditations when these things come over your house and use telepathy. Are you able to just go
What
mind
a trip.
conscious without speaking? I think
What a
if you
trip
take the
because
time,
something's been telling me to do that these last couple months, and I've been trying to,
yeah, you need
and
to do
getting
that.
I yes, I come out here, and I'm trying to do it at nighttime. I usually come out here and try to go outside at night. I love being outside and looking at the sky. It's just something calls me
You're in an,
outside to it.
you're,
It's weird.
without knowing your area, you're in an open area, correct? You have a farm?
I'm in Tucson, Arizona, but I'm out in the desert area. Yeah, it's not a
You're now
farm.
desert. I
It's
knew you were
open
out
wide.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
telling me, my contact is telling me from the Ashtar Command, I'm connected with a
Hmm.
space being for over 20
Oh,
plus years before there was internet and or
okay.
whatever. He's telling me that you need to go and meditate in the desert.
Okay.
And when
Okay.
those ships come by, ask them who they are first. The first thing you want to do is not invite them to contact
Hmm.
you. If feel the energy out of what you're seeing up there above you. I'm being told that you
Oh,
should ask who they are, protect yourself in Christed light, just cosmic Christ to
yes.
say,
I
I'm
will.
a Christed being of light. I want to know, are you Christed beings of light? If not, we are ceasing contact. If they say they
Okay.
are, then you can actually ask them to come closer with their ship uh, to make visual contact. I want you to start doing that because you now you have the ability to do this, is what I'm being
Hmm.
told.
Okay.
So after you deal with all the animals in your day and everything, get out there, find a spot at night in the desert where you are near where you live,
Okay.
and make that happen. I want to hear in the next
We'll
few
do.
weeks what happens with you,
Okay. Okay. We'll do. We'll do.
and
Okay.
also
Thank
your
you.
children. I'm getting if any of
Yes.
your kids are living at home, have them come with you if they're willing to do this.
Okay. Yes. Yes. I have two of my younger daughters here at home, and yeah, they're usually one of them is always out here with me. It pulls to her too. Something
Yeah.
pulls her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're waiting for you to make contact, but make
Okay.
sure that there's different ETs that are coming over your house. So make sure when they come over that it's the right specific ones, not just ones
Yes.
that want to come and do whatever
This
they're going to do. So yeah,
this
that's
is what
really
I
important.
feel. This is what I was gonna ask you because that's exactly what I feel. Like I would the desert's here. All I gotta do is walk down my house, the street, and I'm across the street from a big desert. But there's all I feel
Yeah,
like I don't know if you've ever heard what's shadow people, skinwalkers. I don't know if it's something that's not
yeah,
good.
I would stay away from those. I've heard of that. I've watched
Yes,
documentaries. I
yes,
work with
that's
the
what
Ashtar
I'm
Galactic
doing.
Command, which are positive
Okay.
beings of light.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I'm from that level of consciousness here.
Okay.
I'm a mission to do. I've done my radio show for
Okay.
20 years on this whole subject. So my
I
guidance for
definitely
you
stay
is
away from
stay away
those.
from skinwalkers and all that
I
other
sure
stuff.
do.
Focus on the positive star people. And when you do
Okay.
the meditation, you'll have that contact. I think some of these are from that level, but again, the desert's is a proper place. And even at that point, I'm getting if you feel that they're positive, they will land in the desert where you are across the street, a smaller craft, and you can make contact with them too at some point.
Okay. Okay.
Does
Okay, and
that
see, and
sound right to you?
yes, 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 and the part of the desert where they could, where they would be able to go, or where I would be able to go
Yes,
meditate, is where I hear this thing trying to act like if
yes,
it's a
that's
dog needing help or a person needing help or something crying for help. It's on
right.
that side.
So, but focus on protecting
I will
yourself as a
do.
bubble of energy. I call it a bubble of energy.
Okay,
Ask that the Christ beings of light protect you when you're out in the
okay,
desert. And this way, nothing but positive experiences will happen. And when they do land a ship, it'll be a small craft if they do land in the desert. And I'm
okay,
getting in the next 2 to 3 months, you might have that safety net where they'll come down if they feel it's
okay,
safe.
okay, okay. So meditate
Well,
out there and
yeah,
ask them who they are
absolutely,
first.
absolutely. And always
Will do.
meditate in Christ consciousness. When you're meditating,
Yes,
use Om, or you. Breathe
yes.
in, get yourself relaxed, and your two daughters. And yeah.
Okay, will do. Yes, in Christ's name, of course, always.
And you
Okay,
can always watch this show. We're usually on late nights, so this is
okay.
usually
I
something
always
I
do.
don't usually on. Well, I'm glad you're
I
here.
do.
I'm glad you came out and shared your
Yes.
story. I think it's
Thank
fascinating.
you. Yes, thank you.
You're
It's
a
kind of the
beautiful
first
spirit.
time. Thank you, thank you.
No, this is
Yes.
great. I love it. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. You guys have a wonderful, beautiful day. Thank you.
All
And I'll keep
right.
you guys updated. I'll keep you
Thank
posted.
from her. I see, and oh, thank you so much. Please share and like the show. And if you like what we're doing here, folks, which is about exposure, disclosure, people's stories, you're not going to get this anywhere else the way we're doing it. Like my background's in this field. So I'm not just hopping on the UFO bandwagon because it's the subject of the day here. I've been involved in this, and I have a real serious endeavor and commitment to this because of where I come from, not from here, um, being from Mars originally and coming here, and also with the Ashtar Command before the internet. I've always walked my line straight. People have tried to pull me off the rope. It doesn't happen. That's when you're committed to the mission work. I have no agenda. I have no religion. I have no politics. I have no economics. I'm just here to break the matrix, you know? Thank you. Thank you for the heart. I thank you for all the little gifts people are giving me. It's much appreciated. And, we want to hear your stories, folks. This is what this show's about. I do my radio show every Sunday morning, 11:30 to 1 Eastern on WESUFM.org, NPR Pacific Radio. So I've been involved in this whole subject. I basically had my first encounters when I was a kid in the 60s. So, I'm very committed to this. Dog Lover, thank you. Thank you so much. We appreciate everybody here. I think we have another guest. Game Vet. I want to hear Game Vet's story, too. Game Vet, good morning. Oh, okay. I think we got Game Vet on here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good to have you with us. I was reading your comments, and now I want to hear your great story, too.
Okay. I don't even know where to begin. I honestly, this phenomenon started revealing itself to me back in '92. And just to fast forward a little bit, the past 2 years, I bought a Psionics camera, the night vision camera. And
Mm-hmm.
I took it upon myself uh, to basically record it because I kept telling my stories online, and people are like, well, you don't have any proof if you just have stories and you don't have video to back it up. So I said, okay, so I bought the camera and I started recording this stuff. Now people don't know what to think about it. My last video I did, I went over, I drove basically 4 hours to another YouTuber's house. And I said, I asked him, I said, can you just sit outside with me and so I can show you what's going on and this and that. He said, sure, yeah, I'd love to do that. We sat outside, and all of a sudden, just as we were sitting outside for about 3 hours. Just before we were about to pack it up, we saw this light come by. And I sent you this video, I think a couple weeks ago. And he says, I got one. I see something right here. And it was a bright white light, but it looked like it was a triangle going through the trees. All of a sudden, it changed into a sphere, and then it changed again into like this wedge thing as it went over the house. So he captured it on my Psionics camera, and then I had another camera, night vision, but it works better during it works better inside than it does outside. Upon reviewing that footage afterwards, we realized that this craft, whatever it was beaming a light down onto the trees, like onto the treetops, and the light was actually behind the trees. You could see it in the footage where the back side of the trees were actually lighting up, and it would kind of shoot the beam down, and then it would shut off, and then it would kind of move across the screen. All of a sudden, it would beam it straight down, and then the light would shut off again. And as it was leaving to our right, it actually shot the beam down again backwards.
Oh my God, man.
Back at the trees again. And then it went over the house, and I managed to just record it for 2 seconds on the other camera, but it just appeared into the night sky.
Do you have raw copies of that video footage? Can you send me with a little storyline, a raw copy of that so I can post it?
Yeah, I sure can.
I'm excited. I'm trying to imagine what that looks like. I think people are going to be blown away when I share that on here.
Yeah, it's definitely something. I mean, we didn't see the beam of light physically. We did not see it. Like, it was pitch black outside. Yeah. But the camera I was using, it's a night vision ultraviolet camera. So
Wow.
everything pitch black. It looks clear as day out, with that using
Yeah.
that camera. And
But
it was just
the
able to,
camera picked up the beam. That's what we'll see on the video. But the
yep,
human
yeah,
eye didn't see anything. That's really
no,
wild, you
yeah, we didn't see anything at
know?
all. Another thing you were talking about that you saw a cigar craft, right?
I had a sighting of a large two football fields in size. It was round, but it was big. It had like tubes coming in the bottom to the center. This was in the 80s, excuse me.
Okay.
And it actually had all these protruding lights that were like radiating lights of different color. And then it shot two beams out of the ship that did geometry in the sky above me, and I was right next to a wooded area. There was like this little shopping center with a chain, supermarket chain market at the time, and a McDonald's across the street. And above the hill, there was these condos, and about 1,000 feet above that, that's how low it was. It was this huge two football fields in length craft that was spinning around slowly, and it stayed for
Wow,
35 minutes. I mean, this is before we had cell phones and
sure.
TikTok and all that. I didn't even have a way of recording it. I was just watching it from my car. I wasn't afraid. I was just standing there watching it in awe. And then also they start doing geometry. These orange and like kind of orange and like yellow circular orbs come out and start from the main ship. They're shot out. They're in front of the line and they're doing all kinds of geometry, like showing me something. I still don't understand what it was.
Okay, now can I blow your mind here a minute?
Yeah, blow my mind for sure.
Two years ago, this was just after I purchased that camera. This was May 15th, 2021. I was sitting outside, right on my patio, looking out towards the front of the house. All of a sudden, this thing comes by, and I'm like, what the crap is this, right? Because all I saw was it was a big cloud, and it was like orange and red and kind of blue and all sorts of weird colors. And then all of a sudden, it gets right along, right in front of my line of sight. It changed to a gray color, and I noticed whatever this was, it looked like a cloud, right? But then
Yeah.
I realized this thing had a white light on the bottom. It was a solid white light. And I could all of a sudden I kind of focused in on the white light and I saw these little black squares. Well, there was
Wow.
five black squares inside of this light, and the light was rectangle, like a solid rectangle light. So then I was kind of squinting my eyes because it was really, really bright. And then I noticed on top of this light, it was like a stainless steel structure with these
Hmm.
black lines on it, and the thing was huge, and it had to be like I'd say at least two, uh, two jumbo jet size from nose to tail. The
That's
thing was
big.
just enormous, and whatever this was, it was actually shooting this fog or smoke outside and around it. So
Hmm.
how it was traveling through the sky. I mean, it looked like if you took like a pressure washer and shot it forward, and then
Yeah.
you were walking into the spray. That's what it looked like. And
Was it
now,
like did it look like it was trying to cloak itself with that or something?
no, no. Well, I mean, maybe, but the thing is it couldn't possibly cloak itself for how bright that light was on the side. And I wonder if it had something to do with maybe the fog and the light maybe reacted somehow to actually, got it to travel how it did or something. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But
I
now
don't know. That's interesting.
here's the
Did
thing.
you
Somebody else in my town, like 20 minutes away from me, recorded that same object, that
really?
same. And then also, when I was doing research on this thing, I found out that basically the past 2 years up until now, it's still being recorded. And so
Really?
the witness stated that was 20 minutes away from me. She stated that it actually had orbs on the bottom of this craft, on the cigar
Hmm.
craft. And another person that witnessed it was this Isetti Ranch. They do the
Yeah.
communications to space and all that for
Yeah.
extraterrestrial life. They recorded the same object 9 days after I did, and they actually recorded orbs around the same craft.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
That's. I'm just getting cosmic goosebumps, so to speak, about that story. Man,
yeah.
and you have recordings of that too?
Yeah, I have two recordings of that, one of the night vision camera and then one with my cell phone camera.
I want you to send me all the recordings with a storyline, and I will take a look at them, and I'll post them here on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, also on TikTok, and also on Facebook.
Excellent. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then
absolutely.
do you have a where can I send these videos?
Yeah, I'm gonna send it to my email. Just email them directly to me. It's CmdRAleon at AOL.com. That's
Okay.
my AOL, and I can download them on AOL from there into my gallery, and then I can transpose them onto my YouTube and my TikTok and Facebook. And I'm going to eventually, what used to be Twitter, I'll post them on Twitter too. I have a Twitter
Okay. I
feed for my
might have
radio
to
show, but I'm going to start one for my encounter show there.
I might have to chop down the original footage because the original footage is really long.
Yeah,
Um,
if
unless
you chop it down, that's fine. Chop it down to the main things that are really going to capture people. That's fine.
okay. Because otherwise I could send you the because I have them on my channel as well. I could
Yeah.
send you the YouTube links if that works better. Um,
Yeah, don't give me the links. Just send me the raw footage, and I'll be able to post it.
all right, no problem. No problem.
Yeah,
Excellent. I
that'd be great.
appreciate you
You have some
listening to
great
me.
stories, man.
I
I
yeah,
didn't know you had so many stories.
I have some weird ones. Like I said, I put in chat that I work nights and I sleep during the day and I'm a real light sleeper.
Yeah,
So anytime my cat jumps on the bed, I wake up. Well, I was saying in
yeah,
the comments that I was woke up to a brunette girl like crawling up from the foot of the
yeah.
bed to up to me, and I was laying on my left side.
Hmm.
And so she kind of came up to the middle of my back, and here I was thinking, I woke up and here I was thinking, oh, my wife got home early, maybe she wants to say hi before
Your
I
wife.
get up and yeah, before I get up and go to work or whatever. I thought it was my wife, waking me up. So I
Yeah.
roll out my back and then I open up my eyes and it wasn't my wife. It was some brunette girl I've never seen
Oh my
before in my
God.
life. And all of a sudden she kind of smiles at me, tilts her head a little bit, and all of a sudden, he starts rapid firing me questions like, "Why do you work at night? Why are you home now? Who's the old girl? Who's the young girl?" Just boom, 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 like that
Oh my
fast.
God.
And
Let
I
me ask.
swear to God, I never saw her mouth move, and I was trying to answer as fast as I could. I wasn't even talking; I was thinking about the answer. And every time I thought of the answer, she had another question, like right now. You know what I mean?
Did
So,
you? I was gonna say, did she say where she was from? I mean, obviously, I'm getting she
no,
was not from here. She's not from the planet Earth.
no, that's the thing. And then I thought, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm just having a dream, right? I'm having a dream, and then I thought of I was watching a podcast one time, and they were saying if you're in a deep dream, you can't feel your hands, and I'm like, okay, well, let's try this. Let me see if I can touch her or something, right? So
Hmm.
I moved my hand over. I put my hand on her leg. I felt her jeans.
Hmm.
I was moving my fingers, just kind of like rubbing her leg a little bit with my fingers like that. And then I looked at her and I said, "Who are you and how did you get in here?" And with that, boom, I blacked out.
Really? That
Yeah,
is amazing. Now
yeah,
I'm reading your energy, and I'm also reading that story in my consciousness. And I'm gonna actually tell you where she's. I'm gonna try to tell you where she's from in a moment. As I'm listening to that story, brunette appeared out of nowhere.
yeah. She was
Um,
wearing jeans and a blue flannel. I mean, there's
I'm
I
getting
saw I saw one girl on TikTok that looked just like her, and it freaked me out. But
I'm getting I'm getting that I'm getting very clearly that she was a Palladian. She's from the Palladian star system area, that region. Let me
Mhm,
go into a quieter spot here.
sure,
It's a little bit noisy. I'm going to go into a quieter spot. She, that woman that you had encounters with was a Palladian, and she came from the Pleiades star system.
Really?
Yep, absolutely. Without a question. I was listening. I had to tune in a little bit, but I consciously focused on her. Um, all I know is that that's where she came from. She was able to, from what planet she came from in that corridor of where the Pleiades star system is, in that region, she was able to just come right in. She didn't have to come off a ship. There's a ship that was close, but she came into your room without any, I don't call it beaming in, or somehow just was there.
Yeah, it's just like I said, I was laying on my side. I was looking at the wall, but I felt as soon as I felt the bed move once, like I felt somebody's hand be, pushed down on the bed. As soon as I
Yeah.
felt that, I woke up. I'm like, okay,
Wow.
somebody's here. And then I
Yeah,
felt
she
the
wanted you.
crawling up. What's that?
Yeah, she wanted you to go back to sleep. You wanted to ask for her name, but I
Mhm.
think you can. I'm getting you can reconnect with her. Do you know that?
No,
Yeah. So
but
here's what I want you to do for your homework. So you
okay,
can come back. If you can remember what she looked like, and you do, in
yeah,
meditation, meditate on this. Image her in your inner vision, and ask her to come back. Ask her what her name is. Ask her specifically where she came from. She'll communicate with you.
yeah. I just don't
She will,
understand, like, why would she come here and ask me just everything possible that you could possibly imagine? But then she
because
wouldn't
you're
answer,
connected. You're
but
connected
she
with
wouldn't,
them.
but she wouldn't answer me one question, like who she was or anything like that.
She was testing you a little bit, but you can ask her questions. She wanted to make sure, but you are connected with them. That's why she came to you.
Hmm,
That's exactly why she came to you.
that's interesting.
Don't have any doubts. If your mind plays any doubts, like your 3D mind will say, I don't know. Tell the mind to basically shut up and allow yourself to connect with her.
Yeah,
So you go within and higher self meditation and focus on what you look like. Ask her in inner meditation, telepathy. She'll hear you. Ask her what her name is. And in the next couple of weeks, you should be able to reconnect with her. And it might take a little bit longer. You can essentially get to have a recurring physical experience of communications with her. She's able to communicate with you and come physically right into your room.
that's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
she can definitely do that.
this is honestly the second time a stranger's actually done this to me, like just appear out of nowhere. I
Hmm.
don't know if you have time for one more if you want to hear.
Yeah, I do. I want to hear you. You said there was another stranger. I want to hear that story.
Yeah. Now this one happened a while ago, like
And
a
before you
few
get into
years
it,
ago.
just real quick, before you get into
Sure.
it, this is Encounters, the UFO TV talk show on TikTok, usually late night. Please, if you support this, what I'm doing here in this social realm of media, my background is I'm on WESU Radio, NPR Pacifica station, doing the Astro Command radio show for 20 years. I'm a contactee myself, so that's why I can understand people's stories. And also, I'm involved in C5 activity here in New England with some of the people who are in our New England region here on the live. And if you also can support our program, please Venmo me. And if my moderators are still on there, put the Venmo on there. The link to the Venmo is CmdrAleon 2022. Go to my main page. You can Venmo anything you want that you feel comfortable with, 5, 10, or 15. Become a subscriber. We have 37 now. We're looking to have 100 regular subscribers on here. So please send gifts, anything, galaxies, all these things help. And we certainly appreciate your support here in that way too. If you can't do that, that's fine. We want you to be here, even if you have nothing. So, definitely. But if you are blessed and you have abundance enough to send a little bit, go to our Venmo on CmdrAleon 2022. Press the link. Venmo me today before the show's over, and that we certainly would appreciate that. So go ahead with the other encounter. I'm very interested. We have time for it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll try to make this as short as possible.
Oh, go
Now,
ahead.
I drive a truck for a living. Okay, so this was back when I worked day shift, and a guy called in sick, so I had to do his route, and I had no idea where it was, so I had all his information programmed on my GPS. So I knew where to go and stuff like that. So I had already done about 5 stops, and I had to, stop at the gas station and for a break and get something to drink and all that stuff. So needless to say, I have no idea where I was. Okay, so I pull into this gas station, miles and miles away from the town I'm from. I walk out of the gas station, here this guy comes up, and he was wearing a suit and tie, and he had a briefcase. And this guy walked straight up to me, stopped just in front of me, and he says my name, clear as day, says my name. And he says, I need to talk to you. And I'm like, what? And he says, yeah, I need to talk to you. It's pretty important. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I said, I'm working right now. I don't have time to talk. He says, but I'm here now. I need to talk to you. I said,
Hmm.
I got frustrated because I'm like, I didn't even think about it that he knew my name. So I'm like,
Right.
listen, it was like a Tuesday. I think it was Tuesday, afternoon, like 11 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
Hmm.
And I said, listen, I don't have time to talk right now. I have to get this route done. Why don't you meet me at the bar Friday and we can talk then? I didn't say what bar. I didn't say where I was going or whatever. And he says,
Hmm.
okay. So then he says, okay. And he turns around, walks away. I get in my truck and leave. Well, the rest of the day, I'm thinking, who's this guy? How does he know my name? And I'm
Right.
like, he's not going to show up at the bar or whatever, and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Well, Friday rolls around. I told the guy too. I said, well, meet me at the bar at 9 o'clock. I don't know if I said that or not. I'm sorry.
Right.
So Friday rolls around. I go to the bar. I get there at like 8:45 or something like that. I grab a drink and sit down at a booth by myself and stuff like that. I look at the time. I'm like, oh, it's 8:59 or whatever, and I kind of look down and grab my beer. And all of a sudden, 9 o'clock, I hear the door swing open. Just because the door is pretty loud,
Yeah.
and I look over and here's the same guy wearing the same clothes, walking right
Hmm.
in, comes
Yep.
in, sits across from me at the table, puts his briefcase down on the booth table there. And I said, "So what's this about?" And he kind of goes, I don't know. I wanted to tell you something here, and I gotta look in here and see what we got." So he opens up his briefcase, and I swear to God, he had like this ream of paper, like a brand new, stack of papers they would take out of a thing to throw in a
Yeah.
print. And he's sitting there going through these papers and stuff like that, and I'm like, "Well, it looks like you have a lot to do, I said, it looks like you have a lot to do for work today. I hope that doesn't, I hope you'll be able to get all that done in one day or whatever." And
Yeah.
then he looks up at me and he says, "That's why everybody likes you, because you have a good sense of humor." And I'm like,
Hmm.
okay. And and then the waitress comes by and she's like, would you like some to drink? Would you like a beer? And I said, yes, please. And I look at the guy. I said, do you want a drink? He says, nope, I'm good. I'm like, okay, just one, whatever. And she says, okay. And then she walks away. So I'm like, what's this about anyway? And he says, well, I need to talk to you, but I can't find what I'm looking for. And
Hmm.
um, I said, it almost looks like there's nothing written on the papers there. He said, are you sure you have the right paperwork? And he says, yeah, I got it. I got it. And he's in there thumbing through the papers. And to make a long story short, he goes, I mean, this went on for quite a while. He's sitting there thumbing through the papers, thumbing through the papers.
Hmm.
So I started asking him questions since he wouldn't answer me.
Right.
I'm like, so what did you do? So what do you do for a living or whatever? And he says, oh, this and that. And he was
This
real
and
short
that.
with all of his answers, right? He was real short. And I go, well, do you have any hobbies? What do you like to do? And he says, well, I used to race a car. I'm like, really? That's really cool. That's something that I've always wanted to do. And he said, yeah, it's pretty dangerous though. I'm like, yeah, that's what my mom always said. My mom didn't want me to drive race car because I was her only son and stuff like that. She didn't want me for that. And then he goes, "Well, I used to rock climb too." And I'm like, "Rock climbing? Oh, that's really cool." I said, "I bet you like
Hmm.
camping." And he says, "Yeah." And then I go, and then I said, "What else do you do?" And he says, "Look," he says, "I know times are rough right now, and things were because I was going through a really bad divorce at that time, and only a few people knew about it, you know." And he goes, "Listen," he goes, "things are really tough right now, and I know you're not in the best of you're not in the best of minds or whatever. You don't have the
Yeah.
best mindset right now, and you know." He says, "I want to make sure that you know that no matter what happens," he said, "things will get better." And I'm like, "What do you mean things are gonna get better?" He
Hmm.
says, "Well, I just want to tell you that you're gonna meet a girl, within the next couple months, and you guys are gonna fall in love, and you guys are gonna have a baby." And I'm like,
Wow.
"What are you talking about?" I'm like, "That's the last thing on my mind. I just got out of a nasty, nasty divorce. You know, she
Right.
took everything I had away from me. There's no way in heck I'm gonna, do that again or whatever." And he looks at me dead in the face and he says, "It'll happen." I'm like, "Okay,
Did he
well,
did he say who he
whatever."
was? I mean, I keep getting he wasn't really like a regular human being, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He looked like it, but it was just weird. So then I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever, dude. I didn't know what to even think at this point anymore because how he knew my name, he knew a lot about me and stuff. So then the waitress comes by again. And I'm like, she's like, "Hey, do you want another beer?" And I'm like, "Yes." And then I look at her and I said, "Can you come here a second? Just come here real close." And he says, "Yeah." Or she says, "Yeah, yeah." I said, "Come here, come here." So I got right by her ear. And I said, "I want to make sure I'm not going crazy, but do you see this guy sitting across from me right now?" And she says, "Yeah, but he's gone." And I'm
He's
like,
gone.
"Yeah." I said, "What do you mean
Um,
he's gone?" She backs up. I look across from me. He's gone. Like he wasn't sitting
I
there
knew it.
anymore. He wasn't
I
sitting there anymore. I mean, he would have, if he got up from when the waitress was, you know how you're at a booth and then the waitress comes by at the side of the booth? From
hmm
her coming to the
Yeah.
booth, turning my head, I would have seen him get up and walk to the door. You know what
Oh
I mean?
man. I'm
And then
getting some information, man.
she's like, I, I'm like, she goes, "Okay, I'm freaked out. I gotta go." And then that was it. I never saw the guy again.
As you were telling the story, I got information for you. They're telling me, Commander, give them the information, give them the information. Oh, man, you actually, I mean, I knew this person wasn't a regular human being, holding a suitcase with papers in it. And, at the point of the last part of your story, man, and he disappeared.
Yeah,
No regular human being just disappears when you turn
no,
and look and they're not there anymore.
right.
This
I mean,
person
he
knew
was
everything
right
about
there.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, he was right there before the waitress came by. Right, he was sitting right there. And
hmm
the waitress comes by,
So,
and I was like, "Oh my God, this guy!" You know what I mean? And then
yeah.
she's like, "Do you like another beer?" "Yes." And then I said, "Come here." She leaned over. So by the time she leaned over and I told her, I said, "Do you see him?" He
Yeah.
disappeared.
Yeah. I'm getting a few comments from people, and they're pretty much all relative. My co host says, I'm getting a message. It was an angel. Another person says it was a spirit. Another person said time traveler. I'm getting now, if you know
That's a
about angels or
possibility.
angelic beings, there are many different types of angelic beings. Some of them, and the angelic realm is part of the galactic part of the Ashtar Command, which means that the angelic realm also has their own planetary worlds, believe it or not. So this particular person in human form was not just merely human. I'm getting very much angelic, one of the angelic realms, but more that comes to Earth and is physical and can disappear and appear at will. So
Yeah.
you were dealing with a male energy that was angelic, and yeah, that's why I was getting when I'm listening to the story, I'm like my whole body's like vibrating based on your story. you had a really beautiful encounter.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I swear to God, those papers were blank in his briefcase. I swear to God.
Yeah. No, man. And with so many people, everyone's right in what they're saying about your encounter. But definitely it was from one of the angelic realms, which is more able to, again, they're part of the galactic grouping. Uh, that was such a beautiful thing. And did you ever meet that woman?
You know what? Yeah, the moral of the story is, after this happened, a couple months went by, right? The guy said a couple months or whatever. So the moral of the story is a couple months went by afterwards, and I kept thinking about this in the back of my head. I'm like, this is so bizarre, this is such a weird story. Well, I go to a nightclub one night, I meet the girl, right? We hit it off really
Mm-hmm.
good. Her and I got
Mm-hmm.
married. Now we have a kid. So what does that
You
tell
got
you?
married and had a kid, right?
Yeah, and I'm unable to have kids. I have a low count, as they say. We adopted
Wow.
our daughter.
Mm-hmm.
So, and we went through the process of adopting and all that stuff. So I still managed to have a kid.
Wow, you did. I mean, you had a kid, but it was, even though it was adopted, it's still your kid. So
Right.
everything happened after this person met you.
Yeah.
You had the new wife that you met, that he said you were going to meet. You had
Hmm.
a kid that you adopted, and now you have a happy family, correct?
Right. Yeah.
There you go. You
Yeah.
can't make this stuff up, folks. You can't.
Right.
This
No, you
is
can't.
this is this is the most beautiful story I've ever heard, and I know you've been following my show for a long time, so for you to come on and share this, I am so happy.
Yeah.
You're a great guest.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Like I say, I'm surrounded in weirdness. I've had three psychics tell me, three different separate psychics say that I'm like a lighthouse or a beacon towards
Hmm.
for the paranormal. And
Well,
this isn't the only
you're a
this
beacon
isn't the only
towards a lot of things, but you are a beacon. If you, like I said, meditate, you can connect with that woman again, the Palladian woman. You will
yeah,
connect with her. Your energy, your vibrational frequency is really high up there. I'm reading your energy. You're very much a peaceful person, and
yeah,
you're also vibrating at a very high frequency. That's why the Palladian woman came to you. You're connected with them. And so I want you to also meditate and focus on that. Maybe, I don't know if your wife's into doing this or not, but
no,
meditate and do this, and find a space that you feel peaceful and comfortable in. That woman from the Pleiades will come back. Tell your wife that not to be jealous. She's not there to take you away from your wife. She's there
yeah,
to provide you information.
yeah. I just wish she would tell me the information that she, feels that she has to tell me because I feel
Hmm.
like I'm in the dark, like I don't know anything, like why I'm so blessed to be visited all the time.
You have to unlock. You'll be able to unlock your inner self if you meditate. You'll with this Palladian woman. She'll help you unlock your DNA. She'll work with you, but you need to make contact with her again.
Okay. Yeah.
She was
Yeah, I
just
could do
testing
that.
you. Like I said, I remember everything of your story now. She was testing to see where you were,
Yeah.
in a positive way. So you were ready. You just have to reconnect with her.
I just couldn't believe that when I put my hand on her leg, she did not flinch. She did not look at me like you did what now? She
Right.
didn't react at all. She just kept smiling.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just
What a
like
great
it was
thing here. Well, I know we're winding down to near 11:15. You're my last guest for today. I do want to invite more people on tonight. I'll be on tonight, late night after 11 o'clock for the regular edition of Late Night here. I mean, Encounters on the Late Night edition. And again, these are the three major topics really which cover everything: the disclosure, your visitations with the ETs or the space people, and your UFO sightings. Game Vet, thank you so much. What was your real first name, so that we can just say first name or whatever?
my real name is Doug.
Doug. Okay, Doug. Well, thank you,
Yeah,
Doug,
yeah,
for being
thank you.
here. You're a blessing to the show. Your story is amazing. We're going to share this. and I'm going to try to post this on my YouTube either now or later today, and also on Facebook and on, obviously, the shows are recorded, so I save all the shows here. So I thank you so much.
Well, I thank you, and thank you to your audience as well for listening. I'm always happy to listen to other stories as well too, just to try to figure all this whole thing out.
Oh, man, your story was like, I'm still tingling, excited about you as a person, your family. I do think you will have contact if you follow my directions. They keep telling me my contact, Kadar Manka says, tell him to do this. I hear you, Kadar Manka. I'm telling him to do this. So just do that and take your time with it. In the next few weeks, you should be able to reconnect with her.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely do. I want to know what she has to say. I really do. So,
yeah, when you find out, tell us. When you have any updates, let us know.
Oh, absolutely. And hopefully I can capture it on camera. Wouldn't that
Yeah,
be
the
so?
videos. Definitely make sure those videos come to me. I can't wait to see what you recorded on those videos. I'll share them with everybody here on my Astro, on my TikTok thing, and also on YouTube.
Yeah, excellent. Sounds great.
All
Thank
right,
you again.
Doug.
Thanks for having me
You
on.
have 153 people. I loved what you were doing out here, so you're fantastic.
All right, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. And we're going to be back on late tonight. Doug was my guest here, my last guest. I might try to get one more in here. Let me see. Let me just bring this up here a little bit. Bring myself down a little bit. Who is this person? Let's see. Down the rabbit hole. We'll bring down the rabbit hole on. He's coming out of the rabbit hole.
Hello, we are out of the rabbit
Hey,
hole.
Good morning. Now it's daytime on Encounters with my co-host and myself for a few more minutes. Good morning.
I'm with my co-host on my podcast.
Hi.
Good morning.
Morning.
You know, that
Good to
guy's
meet you.
story reminds me so much of my story with the pizza box. The guy with the pizza that just disappeared.
Oh yeah, the pizza box. Yeah.
But his was wow. So
Yeah, that was a
touching.
great story.
Yeah, it was a good story. That stuff like that doesn't happen often.
You don't hear that on CNN News or MSNBC, but only here on Encounters, folks. Please share and like. Also, go to my Venmo, CmdrAleon 2022. Please Venmo me right now. Anyone who can Venmo, just press the link. You can Venmo any amount you want. I'll leave that up to you through meditation before the show's over. So please Venmo. Brandy says I've encountered this many years ago. Brandy, we're going to follow you. Brandy, I'm going to follow you. I wish we had more time. I don't have a lot of time here, and I want to give more justice. Brandy, follow us tonight. Tonight, Thursday night, we'll be on live after 11. If you're awake, we'd like to hear your story. I really do want to hear stories from people that weren't able to get on this morning. So please, we're on at after 11:30 tonight. We'll be on live with the late night edition of my co-host. We want to hear your stories. If you've had sightings recently, if you've had encounters with space people, we want to hear your stories, okay? And yes,
Come
I
on
want to
the
be
show.
come on the show. That's tonight, 11:30 p.m., the late night edition of Encounters, everybody. So we're going to be signing off here.
Sander, have a great day.
Yeah, and everybody,
I'm going to
please.
get back into the rabbit hole. Have a great day, sir.
Yeah, we'd like a few galaxies. If anyone can afford a few galaxies here, that's a direct thing you can do. If you know how to gift on your TikTok, if you support what we've done this morning, if you like what we've done and how we deal with our guests and everything, please send a galaxy right now. It's 11:18. I'd like to at least get one or two galaxies sent this way if you can afford to do it. All these different modalities of donations help. Become a subscriber. If you see the star, we've got, I think, 37 of 100. Our goal is to get 100 subscribers. So if you have not subscribed to Encounters, please subscribe right now. Chesno, thank you, brother, for moderating, and all my moderators. that have been on here this morning. We'll be on tonight with our regular show. In Mountain Time, we are 11:30 or 11:10. That would be 9 o'clock Mountain, 11 o'clock Eastern, 9:30 Mountain, 11:30 Eastern tonight. All right, everybody, thank you so much. I'm so happy that all of you were able to catch us. A lot of new people who have never seen this show before. We are usually on at night, so we're doing some morning stuff here and trying to reach the morning crowd. So thank you, everyone, for sharing their stories. We've had great guests on this morning. I know there's a lot of great people out here all over the world, and I know many of you are having encounters and visitations. That seems to be the real thing that's happening now, is people sharing their childhood stories, their adult stories when they've been encountered with space people. This is stuff you won't hear on CNN News or MSNBC or any of that. You'll hear it on our show. So we thank you for being here. It's 20 minutes after 11 East Coast. We'll catch you later, everybody. And please subscribe. Chesno, if you want to give the link again before we go, where they can become a supporter to our Venmo, Cash App. Our Cash App is Venmo. So if you have Venmo, you can just Cash App on our Venmo link on CmdrAleon 2022. Brian McNutty says, it's all USA made UFOs or skunk works. No, they're not all USA made. You have to open your consciousness up, Brian. I mean, there are UFOs and things that are skunk work that are real. I agree with that. But you're negating the fact that there are out of this world spaceships coming from other planets. So part of what you're saying is true, but you're leaving out the other equation, which is the extraterrestrial, non-terrestrial spaceships. And there are many of those coming to Earth, matter of fact, and some of them are coming from under the water, from the inner Earth. So part of what you're saying, Brian, is something we already know, but you're negating the extraterrestrial factor. And you can't do that. You know, that's like saying if that's the case, then there are no extraterrestrials able to come here, and that's not the case. All right, everybody. I appreciate everybody's being here. Hey.
Hi.
I appreciate everybody being here, and we will catch you again late night on Encounters. I'm your talk show host. Again, for background of what I do, I've been a contactee since the 60s. That's why I can tell you that space people are coming here. I've had encounters with actual space people in a ship when I was a teenager. So, you know, you can't negate the fact that there are people from other worlds coming here. You just can't do that. Oh, interesting. Okay, we'll be on tonight, JJC, 11:30 Eastern. So tune in or watch us. We'll be coming on between 11 and 11:30 p.m. tonight. We do have apple cider. So if you're wondering what's happened with the apple cider, I do have the apple cider. Thank Big Red Dog. We reached a goal, and we're so happy. So we're reaching goals here. I don't understand what all the TikTok things are, but I'm still getting used to some of those goals. So thank you so much, everybody. We love you all. I have to say that. And if anyone wants to send a galaxy before we go, we have 2 minutes left here. One galaxy would be great. We have 56 people on here. Somebody out there, if you can throw a galaxy on the screen, that would be great. So at the count of 3, before we end, 1, 2, 3. Cat paws are good too. Cat paws are good too. We love the cat paws. Thank you. Every little thing counts. So who out here can send a galaxy too? Cat paws are great. Thank you, Cat Mama. We have a cat, so we appreciate the cat paws. Thank you so much. We have actually a ragdoll cat in real life. And she comes on my show and talks. Big Red Dog, thank you for the galaxy, brother. Thank you, Chesno. Thank you, everybody. I love you all. We got to go. Catch you again tonight, late night, with my co-host, Down the Rabbit Hole. Catch you later, everybody. And this show is going to be on YouTube and also on Facebook. We'll put it on there probably a little bit later. Take care. Yes, Indigo. I love the ragdoll cat. I pick her up and she goes limp in my arms. That's what they do. That's their characteristic. They go limp. They're one of the few cats that do that, and she'll just sit there going limp in my arms like a baby. We love her. We love you all, Indigo. Good to meet you. We love you and everybody else out here and your support for this program. We'll catch you late night on the TV show. Everybody have a great day. Keep it positive. If there's any negative people around you, just walk away from them. You don't need that kind of energy. So take care, everybody. We'll catch you later. Thank you, Indigo. Let me press this little button and I'll be off the air. I'm going to cut my screen down a little bit here.